Hello, very good evening. My name is Dr. Shan Bhatti and welcome to Sun University's online training sessions. Today we're going to talk about LMS and how we can upload course materials and course lectures on our LMS portal. Again, in order to access your portal, you need to use the URL lms.ucin.edu.pk. This is the LMS URL. Enter that on your browser, press enter, and this page will load up. On this page, there are various different training materials that we are uploading, like this one. Other libraries and HEC policies. On this same page we have LMS Login. So once you click on LMS Login at this top right corner, you would be directed to an LMS Login page. Here you need to log in using your CNIC and password. Now this you should already have, but if you haven't already accessed this, you can register yourself as well from top right corner. Once you click here, you can register, give your details, give your official email address and create an account for yourself. Once your account is created, kindly acknowledge to Dr. Yasser or ITCS email address and they will authorize you as a full faculty. At the same time, if you already have accessed it previously but I have forgotten your password, you may recover your password at forgot password link and that way you can access it. Remember, this is the same portal that you accessed previously using your result section or your attendance section. The only difference is that now you're using your CNIC number. So the password is same that you have used previously. Once you have that, just click on login and you should be able to access your portal now. On this portal, we have talked in previous lectures on your profile. Today we're going to talk about learning management system. Once you are at learning management system, you would be given various different options, including your course file and assessment, add course material, online attendance, examination and virtual classroom. At the moment, virtual classroom and online examinations are suspended. You will not be able to access them and they will be accessible after 1st of June. Online attendance, again, this is something that you have been using previously. It has now been upgraded to this new portal system. Along with that, the two main concerned things we are going to talk about today is adding course file and adding course materials. The first thing that you need to do is you have to go into your course file. Until unless you enter your data in your course file, you would not be able to upload the data on your course material. So the first thing that we need to do is access our course file materials. Once you on that click in your course file materials, the only option at this moment you will get is choose the course. Now, this system has already been integrated with our online attendance system. So you would only get course that you are teaching in your in the first semester. Okay, so you would find that it is already there, it is integrated and you only see the courses that you have been teaching in first semester. Once you are here, select a course that you are willing to teach or you are teaching and you want to add the course material for that particular course. In our case, we selected this course. Once you select this course, you will be presented with some information that now you need to enter. This information consists of course information, course description, course objectives, outcomes, course contents and reference materials. Once you do that, click save. So let's enter that material. This material you should already have it since you've been teaching. HEC already has this material of each courses listed on their websites, or your departmental website might also have the same information available, or you should as a faculty might also already have the contents available with you. So you need to obtain this material. So for example, in our case, we have some course information. So I copy this for my particular course and paste it in the course description. What are the course objectives? So I copy the course objectives for my course and I just paste it here. The learning outcomes again paste, and course contents is I have the course contents for me and I copy them and paste them in course content section. Then the test books and reference materials. Again, this is something that we already have available with us, that these are the two reference books we will be using. We paste that material. Once we do that, click on save button and it should save up till here our relevant information. So if I go back and select the same course, I should have this information already populated for me. Once we are here, the next step we need to do is course assessment. We need to provide and tell the system how this course is going to be assessed. In a normal situation, it is supposed to be final marks 50, midterm marks 30, assessment, assignment or project or presentation 10 marks and attendance 10 marks. However, due to this COVID situation, you know that we have excluded the midterm and included that midterm marks with our assignment marks. So now the assignment marks in my case in this would be 40 marks, attendance is 10 marks, and the remaining would be 50 marks. You can segregate them as per your own understanding. Then again, obviously I can save this, and we need to save this before we proceed further. Once you save this, it takes it back to the main menu. So I select the course again, and it says the status is saved. Yes, up till here it is saved, and you can see that the changes were marked. Now the last stage within this is providing the weekly course plan. This is again important because based on this weekly plan, we would be able to upload weekly material for each single course. In this case, the lecture plan for week 1, the lecture plan for week 2, and so on and so forth. So for our case, I would say, for example, the week 1, this would be chapter 1, introduction, course objectives. I guess I can just enter course objectives, intro to course, anything that you basically going to discuss in chapter 1 or week 1. Then week 2, maybe it would have, for example, chapter 2, and similarly I can say that all other materials, and similarly all other weeks I would subsequently add topics that I will be covering in that particular week. Mostly our weeks are segregated with 3 credit hours minimum, 3 or 2 credit hours depending on which course you are taking. So this is basically weekly. So here we need to add the weekly plan that in this week, depending on 2 credit hours or 3 credit hours, what topics I am supposed to cover, or what chapters or what sections of the course I am going to cover in that particular week. So in my case, for example, I've just quickly entered because I don't want to waste too much time. I just entered, for example, in week 3 I will be discussing chapter 3, in week 4 I will be discussing chapter 4, in week 5, for example, I would just go about chapter 5, and so on and so forth. So you need to specify this description as accurately and as relevant to your course objectives and course material that you have provided upwards. Now you do need to specify all these information. You note that it's a red asterisk. This indicates that all this material is quite important. All these labs are quite important. Even, for example, at this point, week 9 can be my midterm week as well. So I can have covering chapter 9 as well as midterm, and approximately that can go for that 9 weeks, and then again I can continue with the remaining weeks. So quickly you need to specify, you should have, or one suggestion is that we create a Word file, enter everything data there, and then quickly copy and paste, so we can decide and plan how we want to start this week. Now again, hopefully because the semester was up to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, so week 7 to week 8 we should have already covered in class to class. It's actually from week 9 and week 10 that we need to worry about that how we're going to teach online. So this is where the actual planning is supposed to go, that how and what topics are we going to cover in these remaining weeks, and then whatever topics we specify in these weeks, we in the next course section we would be uploading course material for each of these weeks, and those course materials can be anything that we basically want to discuss with the students, from presentations to lecture videos or even online class sections. So we will talk about that in next sections. Okay, so what I did here is quickly I added 16 weeks of classes. In, for example, in class 15 chapter we can include quizzes, we can include presentations, you can include assignments and task discussions. Whatever you are doing in each different week, create a rough plan for it and include this in this section. So all these reference materials weekly are supposed to be provided here. At the bottom it says do click on save button. So once you click on save button, it will save this material, but it will not post it to the students. The students will not be able to see this materials once you save it. Once you complete this, edit this, change this, and once you click on the submit button. Once you click on submit button, now these materials would be visible to students. So at this point, if I click, for example, save first, this material is added to the course file. Now this material is saved. This means that if I scroll down and select the course again, I would be able to view all the course materials. I can edit them still, I can change them, but this materials will not be visible to the students. Okay, so now what we do is we have this saved it. So once we save it, it's saved. Now in order to add the course materials, we will click on submit material. Once you click on submit material, it basically means that now your file is ready, you have edited it, all changes are done, and you have submitted it. Obviously, as far as we understand, we can edit this materials later on, but now if you go into this course again, you would find that the status has changed and it would say submitted for you. Okay, so all these courses are supposed to be entered. All the data for all these courses are supposed to be entered. You're supposed to enter the course description, objectives, or learning outcomes. Obviously, you can specify, change them as you want. Course assessment, and then weekly plan for each of the courses supposed to be entered. Once you do that, you are supposed to go and click on submit. Submit basically means that now the course is submitted for course materials to be uploaded, and the students are now able to access it. So once we go into learning management system again, add course materials links. Here you would find that the courses that you have submitted are now accessible here. If you save it there, it won't be accessible here. So you need to submit it so that the student, you can move to the next section. And because I've submitted only 2 courses, I'm only able to see 2 courses. However, if I go back into my course assess file, you would find that there are multiple other courses available. I have different subjects or labs available, but at material only 2 are available. Because if I go here, for example, I have not yet entered the data. So that because the data is not entered here, I cannot upload the course material for that data. So it's connected and it's a sequential thing that we need to understand. First, you need to add the course file, the data for the course file and weekly plan. Once you add the weekly plan and course file, only then you would be able to upload the course material for that particular thing. So once this is done, now you go into course material section. Once you are here at the course material section, then you would be able to upload the material for that particular course which you have submitted, not saved, submitted. That's one problem that we are facing. Do ensure that you submit that material button. Once you click on the submit button, after doing all the editing and changing, now it's submitted and now you can upload the material for that course. So if I select this course, then you can see this, that now once this course is selected, now I have week sections for it. So for example, I can go into week 7 and then I get the data for it. Now if I go in, for example, week 9, because as I said, we are supposed to start from week 9 in my understanding. You can start from whatever week you want. You are supposed to upload materials for every week, in fact, so the students can concurrently follow all the topics. So if I go into week 1, introduction of the course, reference materials, books, exam patterns, that was supposed to be my lecture plan. Now this data came from a course file section, so that's why we fill that in one first. Now we are here, now we have the course sections. This is Dr. Ishan Bhatti. Thank you very much for watching. In next section, we will continue and see how we can upload the course materials for each week that we just entered in our course file. Do keep watching, and if any comments and feedbacks, let us know, and so we can update the system accordingly. Thank you very much.